to work on an intro. Like those guys had like an intro.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we're live, brother.
We're live now.
You got to have an intro. Absolutely.
Well, we have an intro on our regular episodes.
Yeah.
But so we're doing the basic level of StreamYard.
Okay.
So we don't have an intro video on it.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Well, I'm Bob Seeley. I don't know who you are, Shane.
To my left here, a legend, Hall of Famer,
Bass Fishing Hall of Famer,
Bass
Bob
Fishing
Seeley.
Hall of Famer.
Yep. What an honor.
In studio, in Wyatt's seat. You know, you look good in that seat. I think you should take it. You're hired.
Hey, Bob, you give me
I don't- I
Seeley
work cheap,
Outdoors and
too.
we'll do it.
You work cheap.
I work cheap. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, we trade tackle.
I'll switch spots with Bob right now. I'll run.
I'm
the
sure
Big
you
Bass
would.
flag.
That was good, bro.
yeah. Well, Bob is here because it is the 40-year anniversary.
40th anniversary Big Bass Splash here.
I want to back you up, and I want you to tell me the story we were just talking about a minute ago.
Well, you know, I fished professionally back in the 70s with bass at the Open and stuff, trying to hopefully one day
Mm-hmm.
as a dream go to the Classic, you know. And Ray Scott and I became good friends, and I envied what he was just an amazing individual. He's the man that all of us, he's the reason why we do what we do. Because
Absolutely.
he made bass fishing a competitive sport and just took it to so many levels. And I knew I couldn't compete with him. So my wife and I, she had I had an idea. I said, I want to do something for amateurs. There's a lot more amateurs than there are pros, you know, but I want to do something a little unique. She said, as long as we keep it family orientated, she said, because I like fishing, family, and fun. Oh, I like that slogan. That was good. I said, well, let me tell you, it's going to be a deal where amateurs win like the pros. Eventually, we're going to get there. So it all started, and then I had the concept of the Big Bass concept. This is go back 48 years ago. Tells you how old I am. Anyway, I presented it to the owners of KYKS, KYKZ, and KYKX, three of the biggest country organizations, you know, in all of East Texas and all. They cover from Longview to Lake Charles to over here in Lufkin. And Rusty Reynolds loved the idea, so he said, yeah, we can do this. So we started at Lowe's Creek on the Texas side of Toledo Bend. It was my concept, but it was their tournament. But, you know, I was part of it. And went on around that 5 years, and I decided I want to break away and do it on my own. But I wanted the radio station still to be involved.
Sure.
So they didn't have a problem with that. And so we started out with Burger King, believe it or not, the first 2 years.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then
Nice.
the guy that owned Burger King locally in Jasper and all, he started getting involved in other stuff and things. And there was a few things that I said, no, I don't need to be associated with that. So I bowed out. Well, the McDonald's owner operator called me and said he heard, you're not doing the Burger King tournament anymore. I said, no, sir. I said, who is this? He said, well, my name is Jack Schwartz and I own McDonald's. I said, really? He said, well, I'm interested in it. So let's have lunch. So we did. And I laid the program out to him. He said, man, I love this deal. But there's one thing I want you to do. I said, what? I want you to benefit the Ronald McDonald House. Well, Donna and I, my wife and I, we didn't know what the RMH House was about. But he set up an appointment for us to go to Houston to see it. Let me tell you, it didn't take 3 minutes when I walked in the door. I said, this will do it. This is neat.
Yeah.
Because they treat as children are treated for catastrophic diseases in the hospitals, the Ronald McDonald House houses these families for practically nothing. Gives them an opportunity to be close to their children, close to the hospital, but have a place like home to stay. And it's called the House of Love. And Ray Kroc is the founder of it. So I came back and called Jack and I said, we got a deal. So 40 years ago, McBass was born. So, and we have just worked really hard. You know, the first 3 years, we would guarantee X amount of dollars. Didn't have any corporate sponsors involved at that time. But I went to Skeeter because I'm fishing bass. Skeeter was my sponsor, and I had
Sure.
Evinrude. Well, Evinrude said, how many engines you want? I said, well, I need 2 engines because I'm going to get 2 boats. So I met Tony Caligiura, who was the marketing guy with Skeeter up in Kilgore. And I said, here's what I want to do. And I laid out the program, and I said, and I'll buy a boat, but I want you to give me a boat. He said, that's a done deal. So that's what happened in the 3rd year. The first year that we did it was McDonald's. First year we drew 692 entries with an entry fee of $37.50.
$37.50
for one day. Okay. The next year, we went up to 894 entries. So I decided, let's go to a 2-day deal. And then I got the boats involved. And the 3rd year, we drew 2,267 entries at that 2-day event at $37.50 a day.
Yeah, that's a deal. You know what kind of numbers you'd draw if you did $37.50?
Oh my God, I don't think the lake could handle it. But anyway, but let me just say this. We've broken a lot of records over the years.
Yeah.
I think we were the very first fishing tournament to ever draw 5,000 entries. And then we drew 6,000 entries. And then when the 25th anniversary event came up, that was the first year I guaranteed $1 million. One fish would win $250,000. I also met a young man who was 16 years old trying to make it into country music. Just a big old, tall, long-haired, lanky kid, baseball cap on backwards, had a rod and reel in one hand and a beer in the other. Guess what? He hasn't changed a bit. Better known as Blake Shelton.
No kidding.
And I made a deal with Blake. I said, you make it in country music, handshake deal, you're going to come and perform at one of my anniversary events. He said, done deal. Sure enough, the 25th anniversary, he didn't forget. We called him. He said, I got my manager with me right now. So we made a deal, cut it. He came. That is the year I broke every record in fishing history. We drew 7,552 anglers from 43 states and 4 foreign countries.
That is wild.
And at the Humphrey Family Pavilion Park, we had 5 Royal Coach shuttle buses going all the way up to Highway 96, picking people up, bringing them to the park.
Yeah, I heard stories. There was people parked trailers down 255 all the way to 96.
All the way to 96. Not only that, the DPS officers were working for me.
Yeah.
We had people to park on both sides across the dam all the way, walking across back to get to the iron.
No kidding.
Corps like to have a coordinator.
Oh, I'm sure the Corps loved that.
But you know what? Everything went smooth and stuff. And, you know, I made the statement that we have a slogan called Where Amateurs Win Like the Pros. Kevin Van Dam came over and presented the trophy to the amateur that won the $250,000. And it just sealed it right there. So now, 40 years later.
40 years.
I've already broken 3 records before we started registration today. It's the largest guaranteed purse that's ever been done in fishing history. It's also the largest guaranteed purse ever been done in amateur big bass history.
Wow.
And the winner of this event is going to win a total rigged out Phoenix boat worth $110,000, a $55,000 Ram truck. And I'm going to write another check for another $150,000 cash to go with it.
Cash money.
And the big bass each hour is $10,000. And if he happens to buy the shirt and weighs it in on the T-shirt bonus hour, that's going to be another $10,000. That's $20,000. His total payout will be $340,000. No one, even the Bassmaster Classic World Champion at Tulsa, didn't get that much money. Got $300,000. So it's going to be a life-changing experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a 3-day event. It's this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
Our big registration day is tomorrow. We start registration at 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Humphrey Family Pavilion Park. Can't go online and register because we've shut that down.
Yep. On-site only.
Yeah. On-site only. We have a beer garden, a food courts. We've got project graduations, got a lot of vendors there. Our corporate sponsors are there. And we're bringing a stage in Friday morning at 10 o'clock, have it set up. And Saturday, we have 2 artists that are going to be performing. But the highlight of the whole show will be on Sunday from 1 to 3. We're bringing a little Louisiana back into Texas and featuring a Grammy artist icon, Zodiac, Crazy, Cajun, Wayne Toops is going to be performing. Free
Wow.
concert.
Free concert,
Yeah.
open to the public.
You betcha. And let me tell you, he puts on a show.
Oh,
He
man.
is, we are really excited. And then he'll perform and end at 3 o'clock. And then my show will start. We'll do the awards deal. And by 5 o'clock, we'll be done.
Wow.
Somebody's going to be pretty happy.
Somebody's going to be way happy.
Yeah. So it's not too late to register.
So tomorrow's the big day.
Well, tomorrow's a big day. We also do registration at 5 a.m. each morning of the tournament.
Oh, okay.
If you want to, if you can't fish Friday, you want to fish Saturday and Sunday, you come at 5 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, get registered, or Friday or Thursday or whatever, and get your packet, tournament ID card, and we'll be ready to go.
And get out there.
That's right.
So you were telling me something earlier about the countries and states represented that impressed.
I'm blown away.
Yeah.
Because we have 47 states and 7 foreign countries already.
That's insane.
Wow.
I talked to probably 24 people that drove from California, several people from Oregon and Washington. My wife talked to several people from West Virginia, Maine, Pennsylvania, Florida, New York. There's 2 brothers that's been fishing with us for 20 years. One lives in LA and the other one lives in New York. They fly in. They have a buddy that lives in the surrounding area.
Yeah.
And they use that guy's boat, and they get to bond together for a week. Spend a week
On
seeing
Rayburn.
each other and bringing things together and trying to win a bunch of money to take home or something. It's really unique. Very family oriented.
Yeah.
That's what it's all
Well,
about.
we're going to be down there.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to
We're going to be down there.
Oh, let me tell you, Tackle Addict, they're kicking rear end, bro.
I bet.
They are doing, we got the hog trough tank here.
Yeah.
And Tackle Addict sponsored that hog trough tank.
Okay.
Coming from Oklahoma. So all 8-pounders or better are all going to go in that tank. Of course, the winning bass is going to go in that tank. So it's quite a spectacle to see. Probably Friday and Saturday, a total of maybe 30 fish in there that are 8 pounds or better.
Yeah. How many can you fit in that thing?
No more than 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might push it.
Well, if I have to limit to 9-pounders or better, ain't no problem. We're going to find out on day one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What's your, I've been here on Rayburn, living here. I moved here in November of 1969.
Yeah.
So I've watched this whole area grow.
No doubt.
And we have put Lake Sam Rayburn on the map with the events, and I brought bass in and doing stuff. But I finally got the Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Department in Jasper to realize Lake Sam Rayburn is not a luxury. It's an industry. Matter of fact, the tourism and fishing, biggest industry in Jasper County or the surrounding counties of all 5 counties that board up, that's their biggest industry. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
So
100%.
yeah, and it's amazing. At my 10th anniversary, I had Governor Ann Richards to come. And she was quite an outdoorsman, more of a turkey hunter, but she loved to fish. So we took her out. She caught an 8-pounder. She said, damn, that was fun.
Hooked.
So she made the presentation to the winner.
Yeah.
And she made her speech, and the tournament's over and she's getting ready to leave. And she turned to me and said, Bob, is there anything I can help you with as far as this lake and this? Because your event is just mind-boggling. It's amazing. The economic impact, what it does for the counties around. What can I do for you? I said, Miss Ann, there's a bass called a Florida strain. And I said, just get with Parks and Wildlife and keep these premier lakes, that y'all are building, like Lake Fork, open it up. Keep it stocked with pure Florida because those fish grow faster, they get bigger, and that's what attracts out-of-state people. I said, the economics of fishing is the fishing industry is really a small entity, but it's huge.
Yeah.
And people just don't realize how big it is. you keep your kids outdoors, you ain't got no problems at home. Whether they're fishing or hunting, of course now with the sonars and stuff the way they are, man, these high school kids have got it down. They are incredible. I need to go to school again.
There's some talented young anglers out there.
There really is, and it's some of the pros, believe it or not, some of the older pros kind of started with us. They used to fish our tournaments before they became an elite or professional bass fisherman, and that's pretty good because we've strived to make it worthwhile for these folks to travel the distance and stuff, and that's the reason why I'm the only big bass event out that guarantees the entire purse. And by the way, I'm guaranteeing this weekend $1.3 million. That's pretty stout.
That's a lot of cheddar.
That's some money.
So I want to know what's your prediction to see a big bass?
All right, I'll go first and I'll let Wyatt guess. I'm going to say 11-27.
Okay,
Wow.
Wyatt?
That's pretty large.
What do you think?
With the amount of just with the amount of people, man, somebody's gonna catch a freak. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a heavy 10, like a 10 and 10.75.
I think you're a little light.
Oh,
What's your guess, Bob?
I'm going to say I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of 11.5 to 12.
okay.
I got one story to tell you. This happened. Ralph Dupree is the individual. He caught a bass. This happened like 3 or 4 years ago. He caught a bass in the first day that weighed 12.05 pounds. We had her in the tank, put her in there, stuff, and we were putting 8 and 9 pounders. She was a pretty impressive fish. And of course, he's just nervous and all because he's got to wait it out for 3 days, hopefully that he'll win. I happened to walk by that tank that afternoon after the tournament was over, and I said, boy, these fish look like they're hungry. They're kind of skinny. So I went and bought a bunch of shiners, and I put several bags of shiners in this big hog trough tank. Sunday morning, I walked by there, and there is no shad anywhere. They're gone. Them suckers got to eating. So, and that was that morning, and I didn't think about anything else until all of a sudden, 1 hour before the whole tournament was over, and hopefully Ralph would win it, that I had this brainstorm idea because he was a perfect candidate to pull a prank on. He was just that kind of individual that you want to jack with. So I got one of the high school fishing buddies that were running fish and stuff, and he had a jersey on. I said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to meet me at 1:30 right behind the big tank. And then I'll tell you what I want you to do when you're there. So at 1:30, he was there. I had a black bag, put water in. We got Ralph's fish out of that tank and put it in the bag. I said, you go around behind, get ready for the weigh-in line. And I said, I'm going to get Ralph up about 2 minutes left before the tournament's over.
No.
And I'm going to start talking to him because someone had already mentioned that there was another big fish coming in that particular last hour. And Ralph was really getting nervous. His whole family's right there on the front row. So about 2 minutes before it was over, I got Ralph up and we were talking and his knees were just shaking and stuff. And I said, it ain't over till it's over. I said, somebody said that we got a big fish. Well, I took my cap off and that was the signal for the kid to bring the bag up the weigh-in line. And so here comes the kid. He's got the black bag and he reaches up, sets it in the deal. And Josh Neal is my bump guy at that time. And so Josh unzipped it, opened it up, and shut it real quick. He said, Bob, this is a huge fish. Well, the crowd heard that, so they all started standing up. Ralph is standing up, and his wife is, Josh went in and got the bass by the mouth, and when he brought it up, the mouth was like that big around. It's huge. And then he brought it on up, and the whole crowd goes, ooh, ah. And Ralph's wife just started crying and all. She said, that's a big
oh, dang.
Anyway, we put that bass in a bag, put it on the scale. Remember, it weighed 12.05 Friday morning. Those shiners were gone. That sucker gained 4 ounces, weighed 12.45.
Oh,
And he just dropped to his knees. I said, oh, I'm going to get some mileage out of this.
Oh no.
Oh, and I just kept agitating him a little bit. And finally, I had to break it off. And I got people videoing all of this.
Yeah.
And I said, Ralph, let me explain something to you. I really felt bad for your fish because it looked really hungry. So I went and bought a bunch of shiners and I fed all the fish, yours as well. I just didn't realize he would gain 4 ounces. And Ralph looked at me and said, what? I said, I just re-weighed your fish. You won the tournament. Oh my God, let me tell you. You told me if looks could kill. Oh yeah. But I got so much mileage out of that deal. It was the best prank I had ever pulled at a bass fishing tournament.
I don't know if I could have survived that prank. I don't know if we'd still be friends, Bob.
oh man, I don't know. That's
trust
that's
me,
rough.
he was pretty happy.
Oh,
Anyway,
well,
it's going to be a heck of a weekend, brother.
highs and lows. Yeah, I know it's gonna be. So let me ask you this: it
Yes.
being caught, what day you think it'll be caught? I mean, I know you never know.
I'm watching the weather.
Yeah.
And Friday is going to be an awesome day. It'll
Yeah.
still be cloudy, but it's not going to be windy and it's not going to, blow 100 miles an hour. We got a chance, a possibility of seeing some rain late Saturday afternoon, but we know it's going to rain Sunday morning. And we also know the temperatures are going to drop.
Yeah.
I think the high on Sunday is only like 62 to 65 degrees.
Yeah.
The
I saw
low
that.
around 49. So you're going to have a little front that hit, and it's going to be a northeast wind. I don't know for sure. Of course, we allow the trailering for
Sure.
safety precautions as well. But anyway, so I think if we don't see one over 11 on day one, then that may be right. Maybe a heavy 10 could end up winning this deal because weather's going to change some.
Yeah. Weather could make it tough.
Yep.
Which-
My biggest deal is safety.
Yeah.
That's the most important. And of course, the tournament hours are 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Mhm.
That's each day. It's dark at 6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
So as people are launching, we're telling them, those bow lights and stuff on your boat are there for a reason.
Yeah.
Don't shut them off.
Yeah.
Until it gets safe light. And we just ask that they be aware of their surroundings and watch out for each other. I want everybody to have a safe, 3 days of fishing without any
incident.
That's right. And I want them to have a safe trip home too when they get ready to leave.
Absolutely.
We got a heck of a show planned, for the awards deal. Going to surprise a few people. And like I said, it's going to be a life-changing experience for an angler. Who knows? It could be a kid. It could be a woman. We've had 11-year-old kid to win the whole thing.
Yeah, well, that was a fall one, wasn't it not?
No, that was the Big Daddy.
The Big Daddy.
Yeah, he told
Wow.
his grandpa and him, there's 3 generations in the boat.
Yeah.
He came up and told his dad, I don't want to fish little anglers. I want to be in the big tournament.
Yeah.
And his dad asked me, he said, can he do that? I said, sure. He said, what if he wins a boat? I said, I'll title it in your name. Mr. Brandon Adams was his name. He looked at me and said, Mr. Bob, all I want is a four-wheeler. I said, well, let me tell you something, Brandon. If you win this, I think I might be able to help you with that four-wheeler. Guess what? He caught a bass that weighed 1157 and won it.
That's crazy.
My God.
There was 3 parts to what he won. I gave him a check first, and his whole family's down on him. I gave him a check first for $30,000, and Mama smiled. We were sitting in at that time, a Triton boat.
Yeah.
So I handed Brandon the keys to his boat. His daddy smiled. Then I told him, I said, guess what? I got your four-wheeler. Boy, his eyes got that big around. But I said, oh, wait a minute. This is a little different four-wheeler than what you're expecting. I don't know of any 11-year-old kid in the nation that has his own H2 Hummer and gave him the keys to a Hummer.
A Hummer?
Oh,
sir.
my God.
His dad passed out, totally passed out. It was amazing. And that youngster who is now a dentist today, he and his dad are fishing. They're here.
Yeah.
But he was one of the best role models of a youngster that you could ever have to win an event. He's the youngest angler ever to win over $100,000 in bass fishing, still today. And his family is just good people.
Yeah.
And they're big supporters of ours.
That's
I'd
awesome.
love to see him do it one more time. I guess I have to get a bigger 4-wheeler, wouldn't I? Or
You know, what do they
Something.
make electric Hummers now? EV
Really?
Hummer? Yeah.
oh,
That shouldn't be a thing.
that ain't going to happen.
They got one. It's
Golly,
I
boy.
don't know.
Well, congratulations to you because I hear you're leading the point system.
Oh yeah, Bob and I were talking about the Bass Cat that we're
Yeah.
in contention for.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was telling them thank you, but also slightly griping about not being able to fish a tournament, but we understand. You got us on 2 rules, Bob. You got us
Yeah,
on the entry fee.
To separate an amateur from a pro, here's what we did. If a pro has fished 5 events during the course of 1 year from the date of our event with an entry fee of $1,000 or better are ineligible. A person that has a guide license or has guided within 90 days, say on Lake Sam Rayburn prior to the event, is ineligible. So that's how we've, this is an all amateur grassroots fishing tournament.
Sure.
That's how we separate the pros and the guides. So, not saying that prior to the event, Shane's been out a couple of times helping people out, getting paid for it. That's
Yeah,
good.
Wyatt has too. I think Wyatt and
Yeah.
I have both been
So-
double booked.
So I'm trying to make you guys money, and we appreciate what you do. And if one of the people you take out catches the biggest fish, hope he tips you good. Well worth it.
yeah.
Anyway,
We understand that. I mean, honestly, you're going to gain far more entrants by
Yeah,
putting in those
yeah.
rules than you would.
Right.
I
I just don't like the live scope crap and stuff that this other tournaments are trying to implement in. It doesn't make sense.
You're talking about limiting it, like saying
Yeah.
you can't use it.
Yeah, you've got to use your electronics to navigate to where you're going prior to the tournament.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
it's a stupid rule, but that's their deal, not mine.
Yeah.
Ain't
No, there
gonna
were some
happen.
rumors going around. I was telling Bob there were some rumors
Oh,
about on Facebook. There's a where'd you see that? Why?
Probably one
Probably
of
on-
the pages. or something.
That's one thing
Report
I
that.
don't, me personally, I don't have a Facebook, don't want one. And I'm not getting on the forum and stuff because I
Yeah.
can create a lot of problems.
Yeah. No, somebody left a good comment on it.
Well, too many people are just pessimists.
Yeah.
It's just, it's stupid BS stuff.
Yeah.
And my initials BS, so I can go with the best of them.
There you go. No, I a point I do want to make out is that what you're seeing on those reports page, don't take that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just like
go
the
to your
lake,
website and look at it.
the lake was down to a 157 point deal. We had a couple of guys get on there, all Sealy's fist to create a big disaster and blah, blah, blah. You don't jack with Mother Nature. And you say a lot of prayers because the good Lord kind of watches out for some of us.
Yeah.
Guess what? He did.
We'll get a foot of rain in the area.
Oh, we got, it's up to almost 160.
Yeah, it's come up a bunch.
So-
I could tell today, big time.
Yeah. So I feel a lot better now because I know my anglers and we're preaching to them to be aware of their surroundings and where they're going and stuff because safety is number one as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the real deal is also that these guys are going to run wherever the heck they want anyway.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah.
Why? And I've seen
Hey,
it.
guys, thank you so much
You bet.
for allowing me to be on your podcast. I hope
Yeah.
we get to do it again.
I appreciate you coming in person. I know it's kind of last
Yeah.
minute, but
For you, I'd do anything for you.
You heard it.
You know that.
you heard it here first.
Shane Campbell, my hero. He's going to teach me how to fish one of these days.
Oh, any day, Bob. Any day.
I still want
Uncle
to know how
Bob.
to tie that.
Oh, the FG knot.
Yeah,
Leader
yeah,
to raid.
Yeah, because guess what? I got chemo brain right now, so I can't quite get it all down, but I know you can help me.
We'll help
Zach,
anytime.
you take care, buddy.
All right.
All
Have
right.
a good one. Thank you.
All right, Bob. We'll turn you loose.
Thank you,
We're
brother.
going to come see you.
All right. Have
All
a
right. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Bob
Uncle
Seeley,
Bob.
the legend, stepping out.
Bass Fishing Hall of
Appreciate
Famer.
your time. All right. See you.
I didn't ever hear how many entries he had so far this year. I guess he'll announce that. So
He didn't tell. He wouldn't talk about it on this. I love Bob to death. Bob keeps the numbers close to the vest.
does he?
Yeah, he seems very excited about where he's at. It's busy. It's been busy out there. Wyatt and I've been out there every day. I was out there.
Yeah.
How many did you do today, Wyatt? 2?
Yeah, I've been running 2 trips a day, every day.
Yep.
So.
You scheduled 3, and then I took one of your overflows, so I had 2 today.
Yep.
But appreciate that.
I got 2 more tomorrow, and then I will not even be near. Well, I will not be on the water at Sam Rayburn Friday through Sunday, because I don't want to be a part of that.
No.
I might come watch Wayne Toops, but
oh well, yeah. We're gonna go to Wayne. We're gonna go hang out, check out the festivities, and eat a funnel cake or something.
Yeah.
Oh, there's our friends there. We were
What's
on
up, man?
Serious Angler Network podcast last night. Appreciate them having us on. Go check them out. They inspired us to do a live tonight.
Uncle Bob's a
Appreciate you
legend.
tuning in. So let's get into this now that we're, let's get into the fishing part of this, Wyatt. What I want to dive into the guide side of it because it's been interesting. It's been a little different, right? How we approach as a tournament angler, how you approach a big fish tournament versus a 5-fish tournament. As a guide, how you approach guiding for an event like this versus taking people fishing. It's totally different. Totally different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How have your trips been?
So I think the first thing you have to kind of figure out is what your client is good at or even capable of or comfortable doing. Because if you're going to go out there and, target suspenders or isolated cover or something with forward-facing sonar, some of these guys may just not be comfortable doing that. So I think that's the first thing is, you just got to play with the cards you're dealt, kind of. And I think the next thing is to kind of see where their head's at. Do you want to go for obviously, you would think that a lot of guys would want to go for the win, but some guys actually are more interested in trying to just, cash as many checks as possible. So, maybe even trying to take advantage of that first hour when some of your, maybe a 3-pounder will end up cutting a check. Maybe get one and get in quick. So there's a lot of different stuff, man, that a lot of people probably wouldn't think about from the outside looking in. But yeah, it's totally different, and having a big bass format versus a 5-fish deal. The majority of the guys are going to be a lot more interested in just catching one, giant, obviously, as they should be. So, but it's difficult. I will say that the lake's going through a lot of changing, a lot of change, like it has all year long. A lot of inconsistencies. Yeah, it's very inconsistent. I don't think it's just going to be the easiest thing in the world to go get bit. I just, as far as just running around and getting bit, I don't think it's going to be, as far as quality goes, I think you can go out there and catch it and have some decent number days. As far as 4+ pounders go, it isn't just easy to.
Is that what you think it's going to take to get paid in an hourly? You're going to need over 4. You think it's going to be over 5? How many?
No. Yeah, if you got one over 5, I think you're safe.
Obviously, there's some strategy, like you said, with the first hour. Like, if you can you could get paid with a 3-pounder. Shoot, I've seen these things where like a heavy 2 gets paid in the first hour.
Yeah. Yep. And I 4s are going to get paid. I just don't know what hour and when.
Not T-shirt hours, obviously.
No, but they'll have their times where, 4.5, 4 3/4 get paid. But if you want to feel safe, you might want to be around that 5.5 pound mark. So
I forgot to ask Bob, what is the best and what is the worst hour to
if you've got a giant,
weigh it when you got it.
If you've got a 7+ pounder, the worst hour to weigh is by I think by far the last hour.
Yeah, because it's not going to be a t-shirt hour. You want to wait. You want to shoot for a t-shirt hour, right?
Yeah, and I think the last hour, some guys they might be up there holding fish, and man, I think a lot of
Oh,
big
there's
ones just
definitely that.
a lot of big ones hit the scales at the end.
Yeah, I would think the
I
best
would
would be first hour.
I would give anything to fish it, but
How
like
would you
Bob,
fish it? What would Wyatt Frankens do?
uh,
What I mean by that is I'm not talking like
yeah,
specific, areas or anything, obviously, but like, would you go for the win or would
oh
you
yeah,
go for hourly
I'd go
payout?
for the win, 100%.
Swinging.
I think when it was all said and done, have a good chance at maybe taking a shot at an hour or two. I mean, if you win the tournament, you won an hour, obviously. So,
Yep.
so that's what I would do, and I would probably target isolated cover. I'd probably take advantage of forward facing sonar. It wouldn't shock me if this one is, if it wouldn't shock me if the guy or gal that wins this tournament watches that fish eat their bait
Really?
this year. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me.
Man, I've been thinking a lot about that, and I don't know. I mean, I haven't done a lot of it. I haven't done a lot of it on my trips. Just because you know how it is. It's kind of hard to do that with somebody. You can show them some areas to go and do that. But I'm kind of feeling a topwater, dude.
It could happen like it always does this time of the year. For sure.
I could see a spook, somebody getting on the right deal at the right time. And
For sure.
It can happen any time of day.
For sure. I think the odds of the odds of somebody catching it on forward facing sonar, the winning bass, is higher than it's ever been.
Well, absolutely. Everybody's got it now.
Yeah, than any other big bass splash. So I ain't saying that's how it's going to be won. I honestly think it'll probably be won on a freaking Carolina rig.
Yeah, that'd be my second pick for sure.
Yeah, I think it will. Probably on a main like freaking point or something.
For sure. I can see somebody just drifting around with the old ball and chain.
Yep. And I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I think day one, it's won day one.
Yeah, I think so. There's been a lot of pressure on the lake that Rayburn is used to it, but they're also not at this level. There's a lot more people out there, and weather's right.
Well, what's the biggest fish you saw on a trip this week?
Boated or not boated?
Just not boated. Just seen it.
Saw a pretty big one this morning.
How big was that one?
I don't know, man. I don't even want to begin to guess because it sounds silly.
8+, you think?
Is over 8 for sure. Okay.
So that's a big one.
It's a big one. Big one.
I can't say how the biggest one. I've seen some really big ones on scope. Biggest one I think I've seen in the boat was a 626, I believe. So,
I think you're right, though. I think it's going to be tough overall to get bit. I don't think they're just super bitey out there, and they're pretty spread out. I don't think anybody's just going to pull up on some magical spot. There'll be some locals out there, though, that catch them.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be some local boys that cash in this year.
Yeah. You said he came back, he's fishing it?
Yeah, I think Derek Monday, I expect him to cash in.
Yep. And I saw Hayden at Mr. Heck at him and Darren Taylor.
Did you talk to him or?
Yeah.
I expect Tim to cash in like he always does. So
yeah, I think they'll both their names will be up there, both those guys.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be a good event, man. It's going to be interesting. But yes, I'm with you. I wish I could fish it, but I understand. I definitely see different crowd at this. You know what I mean? I say that every year. I'm always surprised. Like you see people that you don't normally see at the Bass Champs and the Triple T's and the belts and even the BFLs. You got guys from all over. And like Bob said, there's 47 states represented, 7 countries. I mean, that's
ridiculous.
That's awesome.
I've
mean,
heard rumors of the entry numbers, but I don't know if they're true. Probably not, but it's going to be absolutely insane.
I think they're pretty big. I think they're pretty big.
It's going to be nuts, is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say to all you guys fishing, man, is just that first 30 minutes that you can take off from a ramp or whatever. Just be careful, dude. It's going to be an absolute, because it's pretty much like a shotgun start from every ramp, right?
No, I think you can go sit on your spot right now if you wanted.
Oh, well, that might be happening somewhere.
Don't
right now.
don't hold me to that, but I believe you can go out your spot very early. There's no like you can't leave a boat ramp till 6 o'clock. You can go sit on a spot. You just can't make a cast until 6 o'clock.
Well, even if that's the case, you got to be careful. I mean,
Yes.
have your freaking front,
Keep your
and
lights
back
on.
nav lights on. Like, we have seen more boating accidents recently than I can ever remember, and I don't. With electronics as good as they are, I don't. Just pay attention. I mean, that's the last thing you want is a nightmare. This event is supposed to be a fun-filled weekend, and I know there's going to be some frustration on the water. There's going to be a little tension. We'll be able to feel it from the dam.
There'll be. I'm sure we'll see the Sam Rayburn reports page light up. Pictures of other guys.
Look at this dude right here. He cut me off. Yeah. Such and such, and then you just see freaking Glenn Blanchard comment yes. That's all he'll do, like he always does.
Hey man, I expect to see some shenanigans, but that's the game. You know, there's a lot of money to be made out there and fished for. So,
heck yeah, somebody's about to win some cheddar.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. I wrote down some. So we wanted to dispel the rumor, and let me go back to this because we talked about Bob, my lovely wife.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That there was a separate group without electronics. No. Let's go back to what we said earlier. Do not listen to the reports page. If you have any question about what there is, you can call. You can read the rules. You can look on their website. All the information you need is provided, not on the reports page.
Yeah, don't go in there asking what ramps are open, or you're just gonna get your feelings hurt in there, bro.
Yeah. Some nonsense on there. When was the last time you fished one?
Whew. I was a senior in high school, 2014.
That long ago?
That's the only one I ever fished.
Now, why is that?
I don't remember. I don't know. I
mean, why haven't you fished any since then?
I honestly, I really don't know. Because I was in college after that and probably couldn't afford it. And then started guiding, so I couldn't. I mean, for the longest, I just couldn't.
Oh yeah, you've been guiding for the last several years. I forgot about that.
But yeah, my senior year, the only reason I fished at the end is because me and my high school partner, our parents did it as like a senior gift kind of deal. So we fished all 3 days, and I remember weighing in 2 or 3 fish that were all like 4.5 to 5.25 pounds, and not cutting a check with any of them.
Did not get paid.
Did not get paid with a single one of them. And we caught them all on a topwater.
Dang. Well, at least you had fun.
Yep.
Catch them on topwater. The last one I fished was probably 4 years ago. It was a fall one. And I just fished one day. I just fished Friday. And I weighed 3 over 5. Didn't win any hours, but I got paid for 3 hours. I think I got third in all 3 hours. And ask me how many fish I've ever caught on those spots ever again.
It has to be 0.
Never. The most random, like I literally was just trying to get in somewhere. I was like, I'll just fish this point. Never fished before. 5-pounder. That was fall. It was a totally different time, but that was the last time.
Very interesting tournament. If you haven't done it,
You should.
It's something you got to do at least once.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. I ran into some other local hammers. Old Tyrell.
Moorhead.
Yeah.
Is he fishing it?
No.
Wow.
No. I think there's some guys, some locals cherish the opportunity, and some are like not going out there and getting in that mess.
I'm surprised Tyrell doesn't try to sneak one of them Texas Parks and Wildlife fisheries.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. They got smallmouth over there.
Dude, could you imagine if he?
Dude, that's what we should do. We should see if we can borrow a smallmouth and have somebody bring it to weigh in. I want to see Bob's face with a smallmouth across the stage.
Oh God, that play a prank on him.
They'd be like, "What?"
Play a prank on Bob because he likes to mess with everybody else. That dude jacks with people every year.
He does, man. He's an icon, man. He's a legend. I could
really
hear his voice today on the water. Because he's on stage, talking during registration. I can hear him like, know who that is. Recognize that voice.
He really is. He's in the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. We're talking about rubbing elbows with Johnny Morris. One of the
Blake Shelton.
This dude, Uncle Bob is the dude, bro.
He's the man, dude. He's the man. I'm going to ask him. I didn't want to call him out on live, but I'm going to ask him, like, we need Blake Shelton on the juice.
That'd be sick. Can
you make that happen?
Man, it'd be really cool is if somebody was out there bulling crawfish. You know how much do you realize if you went out there and bull crawfish and sold how much money you could make at that freaking weigh-in?
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's doing it.
Oh God. Wayne Toops, crawfish, Miller Lite.
Beer garden, he said. There's a beer garden.
You know what Bob should do? He should have Trump speak at that weigh-in. That's what he should do. Seriously, that's enough people for Trump to freaking fly in.
Trump, I don't think.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it
that'd be like
Bob.
The most American thing. Like Trump goes to a bass weigh-in.
I would not put that past Bob. I should have Bob. That's a freaking idea. Think about it.
If anybody can get Trump to Sam Rayburn at a weigh-in, it's Bob Seeley.
There's literally no one else. It's Bob Seeley.
Bob Seeley. He's the only one who can do it.
Dude, tell me that wouldn't be incredible, though. That'd be truly incredible.
That'd be insane. Like, all of a sudden.
It's election year.
Can you imagine, like, all of a sudden these black, like, Suburbans roll up and block off 255.
I'm glad that's what you
through
said.
Traffic.
You really made me nervous right there. I'm so glad you said Suburbans. I didn't know what you were doing.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Jeep Wagoneers, black Jeep Wagoneers.
You had a pause between that. I didn't know what the heck was going on, man. So man, I think it would be.
I was talking about Secret Service rolling up, running security, man.
American.
Yeah, that would be American as apple pie. Is Donald Trump at a Seeley Big Bass?
There was something else that I was going to talk about that's important, but I don't remember what it is.
I don't know.
It was
I'm
something.
still a little bummed we can't.
Oh, my dad. He weighed in at 8:20 something last year. He weighed in a 7 something and an 8:20 something, and he got second in an hour and won an hour last year. So you better watch out for old dad.
Yeah. So Papa Frankens is fishing this, right?
Yeah. With my.
Did you give him the juice?
Nah, he's gonna. I didn't give him.
What do you mean?
The nectar.
What?
He's gonna have a good chance at catching a few. I think.
Hold on a minute. You talking like this man doesn't have your dots? The best.
Oh no. We don't. You can't just trust people with dots.
That's Papa Frankens. What are you talking about, man?
You can't. You got to watch the dots. As I'm thinking about deleting certain waypoints on my graph just because I know where they're at. I don't even want them there.
You don't want them on there, just
in
case.
Yeah,
dude. If you can make sense of the dots on my unit, good luck.
Yeah, that's true.
Good luck. Although now that I've switched to Garmin's, I've started like color coding them.
Yeah.
And this is, I shouldn't even say this, but my best ones are gold. If you ever just,
Yeah, that's stupid.
if you ever just want to be a
You want
complete,
to jack us?
just whole jack is just jump in my Skeeter and turn on my Garmin's and look at all the gold waypoints. I'm gonna go change them now.
I'm thinking, me and Shane are actually tossing around the idea of going and fishing somewhere this weekend. We don't know what we're gonna do though.
I think I backed us out of that one. We had a free place to stay, but the weather is absolute not good.
I know we were thinking about going fishing bass champs on LBJ this weekend, but man, the
90%
weather.
chance of thunderstorms, like all
If
day.
it was nice weather, I think we would go. I really
We'd be
do.
going. We would be loading up tomorrow late at night, rolling into Marble Falls, Texas.
You know what? You should go fish. You should go fish at ABA on Toledo.
Is that Saturday?
Yeah.
Why aren't you fishing it?
I don't know.
You already got an eagle head?
I thought about it, but I mean,
Chicken
but
head.
think about it though, dude. That would be kind of fun because everybody's gonna be on Rayburn. Toledo will be like wide open.
I'll think about it. I
It's
think
not a
Brooks
bad
has got a
idea.
soccer game though.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm gonna go be soccer dad. Soccer dad at the soccer field.
So what else you got, man?
Man, don't forget to pick your Bassmaster fantasy teams.
Oh crap! It starts tomorrow. Jesus.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. So we got some guests lined up. That's why we just did this live. And Serious Angler Podcast had it on last night, as I mentioned before. Enjoyed the heck out of that.
That's fun.
If you didn't catch us live, go back and watch that episode. I mean, we kind of go off on a complete tangent, but I think we're going to go back on with those guys. Good conversations. You know, when we just start talking with somebody and things flow, it's fun. But yeah, so we got some other guests lined up. So we didn't have a recorded episode. We got Hackney in the queue, Cody Huff. We got several elite guys that obviously they're busy, practicing and getting ready for this other tournament. So, just didn't want to bug anybody. So next week I think we'll probably try to do 2 of those. And then I want to know what people think about the lives, like, because I we're always looking for ideas on the content and do more fishing talk. I think the lives, we could use that as a platform to do more technique stuff. Get a guest on or just us and talk some serious stuff.
Yeah, I like that idea.
But we got a lot coming up. One of our new sponsors, obviously, Weaver Brothers has been on with us. They signed up, so I've been working with them, doing some stuff. Barrett was sending me some things from the Classic, even though the Classic is well past, but I think it's good content to put out there. Some funny moments. Show off the truck that they let us borrow to take up there. AFCO as well. We've already, we hit the ground running with them. Like, we got AFCO bank bag program we're going to run at the SCTX High School Championship on Rayburn in 2 weeks. So those are on the way. Matt said they're on the way, and appreciate them doing that with us. So that's going to be a fun event. So even if you just want to come out and support, I mean, we're going to basically what it is, we're going to be giving some kids these yellow AFCO bank bags, and they can take them around the lake while they're practicing for the championship, fill them up with trash from around the lake, boat ramps, bank, wherever. Just clean up the lake area. That's the whole mission. They bring them back in exchange for a $25 AFCO gift card. So it's a good program. If you want to participate, feel free to come out with your own trash bags, and help out.
Yep.
I don't think we're gonna have a problem filling the bags, unfortunately. But Rayburn's a pretty clean lake, but could use a little pickup. And then Pines. When are we gonna start pre-practicing for Pines? Because
I would have already went over there. I just don't want to. I don't want to get over there too early, but I'll probably will.
We got a month. There. I'm chomping at the bit, dude. A month? We got a month for that tournament.
Yeah, I'll probably get over there pretty quick, honestly. Maybe even next week.
Let me back up. Next weekend is a big weekend.
Yep. Got Steve Fields
Reds.
benefit tournament.
Big Reds benefit tournament.
We fully intend on fishing that one. So
what you're gonna say there? So we intend on doing what, Wyatt?
Well,
going for the dub.
Yeah, I mean, are we gonna have a freaking trophy there?
Yes. Actually, I think they're belts.
No shot. No way.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Do you want me to see if I can get Steve on real quick?
Right now?
Right now.
All right, call him.
Let me call him.
You got to connect him to the roadcaster.
Yeah, I got to send him an invite.
Oh, you want to get him on live?
I want to get him on. Well, let me see if I can get him on the phone. Will it come through? I maybe shouldn't answer this on live. This might be bad.
Too late.
He probably won't answer. Can you hear that ringing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Your call has been.
Okay.
Steve didn't answer. Well, Big Reds benefit tournament hosted by Brandon Belt Fishing. $10,000 guarantee for first, Shane?
$10,000.
What's the entry fee?
Well, we bought T-shirts, which I think today is the last day or tomorrow to pre-order your T-shirt. Yeah. So, go on there and do that. I shared it. I think Wyatt shared the link to that. I think total with like T-shirts, everything was like $435.
Yeah. So I mean, it's awesome.
Regular team tournament.
Yeah.
But on Friday night, we're going to be up there. Even if you don't want to fish it, but you want to come hang out, we're all going to be up there.
Where is it?
Humphrey Pavilion.
Out on Friday night?
On Friday night.
Friday night,
okay. Humphrey Pavilion. South end of Sam Rayburn. We're going to do cornhole tournament, washer tournament.
What time is that starting and all that?
Dude, I don't know why you ask me questions that
I just didn't know if we're staying there all night or we're going to the country club or what we're doing.
No, I think there's going to be food and everything. The party's out there. So that's where we're going to be.
All night.
All night.
Oh, Lord. We better launch the boat when we get there Friday evening and just have it ready.
We'll just, you know what? I'll check with the Carter and Steve if we can just go put it in Jerry's slip.
Yeah.
We'll just put it in the boat slip at night.
Yeah. We'll start fishing about 9 a.m. the next day.
We'll sleep under the boat slip and then we'll get up and go.
Start about 9 a.m.
I mean, so who's your partner for the washers and cornhole tournament?
Well, apparently you're going with Steve.
Sorry.
So probably Clint Fountain.
Fontaine.
Yep.
You and Fontaine. Well, it's going to be awkward in the boat with you and I the next day after I throttle you at cornhole and washers.
Nah, it won't be awkward.
Yeah, be all right. No, but anyway, you guys should come out for that. Yeah, and then also the AFCO Bank Bag Day.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
Weeks. So that's back-to-back weekends here at Rayburn. But anyway, I don't have anything else. You got anything else? What do you want to say to the folks fishing the Big Bass Splash?
Stay careful. Be careful. Try to be as courteous as possible. Be understanding on the water. And somebody go catch a freaking sharelunker. I mean, let's do it.
Whew, that would be awesome.
I still think half of me's like, I wouldn't be shocked if a 970 something won, and I wouldn't be shocked if a 1270 something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Sounds good, man. That's all I got.
All right. Well, good luck to all the contestants out there. Thank you again, Mr. Bob Seeley, the legend, for coming on in studio and telling us some great stories. Y'all go check out Weigh In. He'll be telling stories and entertaining crowds all weekend.
That's right.
All right. I guess we'll see y'all next week.
See you.